Thank you very much. I've got a lot of ground to cover tonight. If you don't mind, I'd like to first start, though, by sharing a story with you. This one goes way back to when Mick Foley was a 10-year-old boy. One summer morning, I was hanging out with a friend of mine, one of my best friends at that time, Tommy Blonsky. And it turns out that somehow, for reasons which I'm still not quite sure of, Tommy ended up in possession of his father's cigarette lighter. Boys being boys, we decided we were going to go into the woods and start some small campfires. That's what we did. We went in and started gathering some wood, some leaves, some brush, and we'd start a small fire, and then in about 10 seconds, 15 seconds would go by, and we'd stomp it out. And then we'd go ahead and we'd build another one and we'd light it again. Only this time we'd let it go a little bit longer because the thrill wasn't quite the same. And we'd once again watch it as it grew and we'd stomp it out. We kept on doing this over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure you can see where this is headed. Once we got to about 25 seconds, we came across a fire that, quite frankly, we couldn't stop. We stomped on it repeatedly, but instead of putting it out, it just continued to grow. It got bigger and bigger, until finally a moment arose where Tommy Blonsky and I looked at each other, and in a moment that can only be described as the closest thing 10-year-olds will ever know to having an epiphany, we came to what we decided was a pretty mutual and fairly brilliant decision and game plan. We ran. We ran straight across the street, 3 doors down to my house, ran in the front door. I said, "Mommy, Mommy, Tommy and I were just going past the woods and they're on fire." So my mother, being the quick thinker that she's always been, called the fire department, and they came out and were able to put the flames out. I don't know why I ever thought that I covered my tracks so well with that story, because some 6 years later, during a casual conversation with my mom, she made it clear that she always knew that Tommy and I set that fire. The reason I share that story with you all, but more importantly to you, Vito, because I know you're listening, I know you're watching, you're playing with fire. You've been playing with it, but now it's gotten a little too big. You're no longer in control, and the thing about fire is once it takes off, it has a special way of consuming you. Fire, once it gets loose, has its own life. The big difference, Vito, between my story and yours is Tommy and I, we were able to get away. The fire you've set is going to surround you, and it is going to burn you to the ground. I'll tell you something right now, Vito, make no mistake about it. When this is all said and done, when the smoke finally clears from the fire you set, when the dust settles and the ashes settle on what's left of your miserable life, and you look around at all the wreckage that was your life, that was your family, I want you to remember, you're the one that started this fire. It's gonna burn you down. And I'm gonna watch it. Hell, I'm gonna be there to pour gasoline on it. This week I'm in charge. So just so you understand, this week it's gonna be your boys against my boys. Oh, geez, I almost forgot the most important thing. You know, you remember that the judge stated that we would have equal ownership over pay-per-views. Well, I just wanted to be the first to let you know, congratulations, partner, because the first XCW pay-per-view is just a few weeks away. And because you pushed my back to the corner the way you have, I had to invite some of my old friends from my old neighborhood to come out and play. So that pay-per-view will be called Hardcore Uproar. And I also want to take a quick moment to address one other issue. You see, Vito, you don't have the ability to think things through. You look at the moment instead of the big picture. Your actions have led to a lot of disruption here at XCW, and that has caused several wrestlers that were on our roster to leave the company. I don't blame you. I understand you all have families to feed, and during uncertain times and power struggles, people worry about getting paid. Guys like Bo Rotundo and Husky Harris, you guys have been around since we were the NXT. I appreciate everything you've done, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors. There is one guy, however, came out here last week shooting his mouth off. And that one man, you know who you are. Dean Ambrose, you said you were never going to get the match you wanted. Well, I guess we'll never know, because I have a funny feeling you realize that things around here were going to be a little too tough for you. So wherever it is you've gone to, wherever it is you may turn up, just remember, we all know you weren't tough enough to be extreme.
Since last week, I've been doing my homework, and I found out that this man is Shigehiro. Shigehiro has never been inside a professional wrestling ring as an active competitor. However, he's trained in over 15 different Japanese dojos and kataras with an array of wrestling talent.
챔피언 하나 쓰러지도록 기대와 본진도 그날다. 신日本のレジェンド山本小鉄さんから声高らかに宣誓書が読まれ、そして渡されました。
Somebody told me there's some badass wrestlers around here. But what the hell are you? You look like Japan's answer to Darth Vader.
And we're going to have an international incident real quickly around here. We've got security trying to break these two guys up, and now we've got a referee saying, let's let them go. Hey, this is the XCW. We're going to have a match. Gentlemen, I give you Hero. And when we return, it's our main event 6-man tag team action.
Break
speculate was behind the attack that put Mick Foley in a hospital for 6 weeks. Tommy Dreamer hammering away on Tony. And the tag is made. Mick Foley gets his first opportunity to put his hands on the man responsible. It should be noted that while Vito Bartelli is not allowed in the building this week, his nephews are a part of the roster, and therefore they have promised can be. Mick Foley handing out the retribution. And now the Bartellis, the tag is made. Here comes Sonny. He is the power of this family. Big snapmare and an elbow drop on the commissioner, the owner of XCW. And now the tag is made to the homicidal, genocidal, suicidal machine, Sabu. The old man showing he can still go. Mick Foley very carefully selecting friends for this match that he knows he can trust. Foley spoke about Hardcore Uproar, the first XCW pay-per-view coming up in just 3 weeks' time. The legends of hardcore wrestling have been invited to participate. What the hell just happened? Tommy Dreamer accidentally hit Mick Foley and he knocked him right off the apron. And now Tommy Dreamer and Mick Foley back on the same page as they do the double team to Scrap Iron. Adam Pearce going to work on the arm and the shoulder. Mick Foley looking to extract revenge against everyone who did him wrong. Sacco. And that's the 3 count, ladies and gentlemen. That is just a taste of what we're going to be seeing at Hardcore Uproar. Guaranteed you'll see Team Foley going up against Team Bartelli at Hardcore Uproar. Mick Foley just laid out Tommy Dreamer.